Welcome back to the KOM Morning News. Couple special guests in studio here as we're getting ready to kick off the Pittsburg State University International Food and Culture Fair. I'm joined by Marlon Marita. Marlon, thank you so much. And Claire Chen.
Hi.
Claire, thank you so much for your time being here. Let's get down to brass tacks first because I want to kind of delve into your backgrounds and exactly why this means so much to you. But Claire, I'll start with you. If you were to give your elevator speech about why people should show up Saturday at the Bicknell Center as to take part in this food and culture fair, why do you tell them that this is a great time?
Well, I think because, as an international student, we get to hang out with a lot of friends, from India, from all the culture. And then the first thing we'll get to do is oh, would you come to our house, our apartment, to have some food? And, that's just it. That's all, because you make friends with food, So that's a kind of the thing we want to show because we want to like Brenda always say, she want to make, Brenda is our advisor from the international office, and she always say oh, I want to make Pitt State, you guys' home away from home.
Yes.
So when you got something good, of course you want to share with your family. So that's what I
And folks, I really want to stress, just from being a part of this for so long, that while it's a chance for international students to meld together, they're inviting us. They want us lifelong Pittsburghers to come out, four-staters, to come out and be a part of this. Marlon, what country are you originally from?
So I was born here in the United States, of course, but my parents are from Guatemala.
They're from Guatemala. How did you get involved in the Pittsburgh International Students Association?
I think that I just naturally fit in. I lived abroad in Guatemala for 5 years, so I kind of connected already with just living and studying abroad. I connected with international students, and that led me to joining the International Student Association on campus.
I find it interesting with everything that's going on in the world, whether we were separated because of a pandemic for more than 2 years, or whether right now we look at a war that's transpiring in between Russia and Ukraine, and we talk about cultural differences there. Marlon, when you look at this as an opportunity to bring different ethnicities, cultures, and whatnot together during these times, what does that mean to the association as a whole?
This is truly what we want. We want to build cultural diversity on campus, and I think having this event truly builds a connection between the community and international students. So it's an opportunity for us to connect with the community and give back through the food and performances that we'll be having on Saturday.
Claire, how did you find your way to Pittsburg State University?
Well, it's just because I'm right now on an exchange program, and then I kind of do a research about this, and I just heard because I'm from the country too, back in Taiwan. So I was just I thought this is a good fit because the weather, and I heard though it gets cold sometime, but it's just basically nice and warm when we first got here. And I feel I heard some friends, and then, we got some information from the former students, exchange students here, and it's oh, this is great, the international office and the people, the community here is so great. They're so nice to international students, and then we got to experience a lot of diversity here too, because there are so many people from different countries. So that's
speaking of modern day politics, do you encounter and are people curious about the politics between Taiwan and China? Is that something that you're approached with that people want to talk about?
Well, I feel we got asked that question, people don't want to offend us or something, and we got Chinese exchange students here too. But I would say it's never about politics. It's always about people. And then here, everyone we get along because we're away from home, so it's kind of a big family association and everything. But I got asked that question very often. But what I would say is just it's all about love, family, stop sharing. So I feel that's the question we shouldn't maybe address that more because we were just family and friends here. But I got asked that question
Claire, I want to tell you from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate your attitude that you bring here to the four states and the fact that you see a part where everybody can get along.
Yeah.
That certainly means a lot coming from someone and somewhere where you came from where that may not necessarily be the case yet. Maybe you see that future for the four states. Marlon, once again, can you break down our particulars? And I want you to stress the importance of why people need to show up early. I know the secret, folks, and don't let me beat you to it.
So on Saturday, we're hosting the International Food and Culture Fair. It's on March 5th from 5:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. at the Bicknell Center. And so there will be food samples that will be served starting from 5:30 to 6:45, and after 6:45, around 7 p.m., we'll start the performance element to this.
And I tell you what, the performances are absolutely amazing because of their aesthetics and really because of the talent that is brought there. And I'm halfway joking around about the food, folks, but I'm telling you, it's like Marlon said, it's while supplies last. And the food is just out of this world. You want to talk about affordable? It's $1 to get in the door, $1 for every sample. And trust me, you're going to want to sample all the cuisine. And speaking of the cuisine, Claire, if you would be so kind, could I talk you into coming back and maybe giving us a sample of what you're going to have?
Yes.
And while we do that, maybe Marlon and I can talk about some of the upcoming performances that we'll see on stage. Would that be cool?
Yeah.
All right, folks, we're going to do that during the 7 to 8 o'clock hour when we transition over to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. Marlon Morita, Claire Chen, I want to thank you so much for your time. I look forward to seeing you guys here in just about half an hour to 45 minutes, if that's okay.
Awesome.
Okay.
We'll be back with more KOAM Morning News right after this.